Hey y'all, it's Kelly Clarkson with Wayfair, where delivery and setup are as easy as a few taps on your phone. Picture this. You're relaxing in an old hammock, scrolling Wayfair's app when you spot it. A brand new patio set. Next thing you know, Wayfair delivers it right to your patio and sets it up. Oh, you need a new grill too? All right, Wayfair's got you covered. With Wayfair's room of choice delivery and fast expert setup on qualifying orders, life gets a little easier. Visit wayfair.com or the Wayfair app.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
What military lessons do I still use today to be successful in life and business? Stay tuned to find out.
Welcome.
Okay, here's the question.
You serious?
How are we dark horses? You know, the ones everyone is betting against, the ones they don't expect to win, place, or even show on the track, and they'll even laugh on us when we talk about trying. How do we show the world our greatness and triumph?
Come on.
Well, that's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers.
Let's go.
This is The Dark Horse Entrepreneur. My name is Tracy Brinkman.
And push it up.
What is up? What is up, my dark horse friends and family? Welcome back to your daily dose of Be All You Can Be learning. I'm your dark horse host, Tracy Brinkman, and you, well, my friend, that is infinitely more important. You are a driven entrepreneur or one in the making. Either way, you're here because you're ready to start, restart, kickstart, or just start leveling up with some great marketing, personal, or business tips and results in order to build that beautiful business of yours into the empire it absolutely deserves to be. That's why I'm here hitting you with yet another daily success episode coming to you straight from the Dark Horse HQ as we dive deep into success with actionable advice, tips and steps designed to help you level up your game, because as we already know, there are no shortcuts to success except for taking those little steps towards your goal every single day. And speaking of little steps, how about you take a little step from me? I'm going to assume, because you're still listening to the Dark Horse Entrepreneur, that you're getting value from these podcasts. So if you could take the little step and go on down there and hit that subscribe button. Yep. And then go ahead and leave us a 5-star rating. Type us in some kind words for the reviews. I would definitely appreciate it. You see, these subscribes, ratings, and reviews, they tell the podcast platforms that you are getting that value. And so they lift us up a little bit in the rankings so that we can reach more driven entrepreneurs just like yourself. So again, please take a moment, show the love, and help spread the word. Alrighty, a little military chat with you. And you know, here's the cool thing. The military life isn't for everybody, and I get it, and I can respect that. And I also respect that folks have the military. There's a renewed respect happening out there. I've seen it ebb and flow. I've seen it gain momentum over the course of my lifetime, and certainly I have a high level of respect for all our men and women who serve our country and whatever countries they happen to serve in whatever capacity they serve in the military. My father was a 23-year veteran of the United States Army, served in Korea, served in Vietnam, and did me, his family, and our nation very proud. I served 6 years myself. My grandfather actually served in the military in World War II, believe it or not, on the German side. All right, there's a story there. Not a story I'm telling today, but I think there's lessons, whether military lifestyle is for you or not. There are certainly lessons that can be taken away or gleaned from the military, and I want to share a few of those today so that we can hopefully learn a little something, imbue them into our life, and make our life a little bit better and our businesses a little bit better. Okay. I think the first lesson that I want to share, and these lessons aren't just from my time in the military. They come from watching from the outside looking in from all the years my father was in the military and the perspectives I gained from there, as well as my time from the inside looking out. And I think one of the big things is we're all individuals, but, and we've heard the phrase, there's no I in team, right? And teams get things done. I think there's something to be said about that. We all have our expertise. We all have our training in a certain topic or a skill set. And when we focus on it, what it is that we do best, and allow those experts on our team that focus in on what they do best, and we work together as part of a cohesive team while doing that, man, can we get shit done or what? I've seen the pros and the cons of both sides. I've seen folks where you'll have a platoon of gentlemen going out there to execute a maneuver or whatever it is, where they were not working well together, where someone wanted to be the star. They wanted to do everything better. And then usually when you do that at the failings of, or you do that at the risk of making others look bad or stepping on others' toes, either physically or, either literally or, just metaphorically. And so, and that just grows this angst within the team. But when everyone's firing on all 8 cylinders, doing their job, communicating what it is they need to communicate as a result of doing their job, then the next person can do their job, and it's like a well-oiled machine. And that's, I think, in life and in business, is a huge lesson to be learned. Now, as entrepreneurs, right, we certainly start off wearing all the hats, right? If I stick in the military terms, we're the general, we're the first sergeant, we're the sergeant, we're the privates. We do everything. Everything from cleaning the latrines, to cooking the food in the mess hall, to loading the weapon, to firing the weapon. But as you begin to have the ability to bring someone on that is better at a piece of what it is you're doing, maybe it's, say, social media, right? You got someone that just rocks it so much better, and you can hand that off to them. Now you can zero in even more on what it is you're really good at, what is it you're really passionate about, what is it you have all the curiosity about, like we mentioned in yesterday's episode with Lisa, having that curiosity that so you can continue to learn and learn and learn. Now you're starting to work as a team. And I think the next thing that inside of that comes with military experience and good business experience is being calculated and decisive, not one or the other, right? You want to be both. And I think military really taught me a lot about that. And you can apply this in life and business. I mean, in business, you certainly want to analyze and communicate the risks that are involved in any options that you have laid out before you, right? You want to make offers to clients that are moving into a new market, right? If you're going to invest large amount of money into some sort of project, right? You want to go through this analysis. You want to calculate the pros, the cons, the risks, the ups, the downs, and then make a decision. That's it. Make a decision. Here's all the information I have at my fingertips, I have access to right now. It might only be 80% of the information, but now I can make a decision. Don't get stuck in that paralysis by analysis, right? And at the same time, do not let your operation be led by someone that has no information, that has no reason to be there. And this is about as political as you're going to hear me get on this podcast. Is I've seen so many times when politicians are running military operations, never a good idea. Do not let a quote unquote politician run your operations in your business. All right. I think another great one is resilience. And resilience is paramount. I know when going through joining the military back in my day, there was a number of tests you had to take, and I'm not just talking about physical tests. There was mental tests for your mental agility, as well as your psychological tests that go into it. Military personnel are vetted for their adaptability and their mental strength. And then when they're inside the military, if they're going to go into any specialized fields, let's say like spec ops or what have you, they're further pushed to their limits and tested by both, again, their mental adaptability and their psychological, we'll call them limits. Because if you think about it, resilience and these skills of mental nimbleness in a military environment could make or break a mission, right? If someone starts spiraling out of control, and I don't even mean this in an extreme example, if someone begins to spiral down in just being depressed because, something simple like they're homesick, they could put the entire team at danger. I think if you flip this into a business side, right, you need to have a high level of resilience, or at least know your resilience tolerances when you cope with all the things that are going on in your life and in your business. I mean, because you think about it, sometimes when you're first starting off, some of the investments in time, in money, in people, they don't turn around, at the snap of a fingers. They take a little time. You're going to have to be resilient in that waiting. Your competitor could snatch up an important client. You got to be resilient in the fact that there's plenty of clients out there, and then of course there's always the difficult situations that come up that, maybe your business is going well, all of a sudden, bam, COVID, right? Now what do I do? Your resilience and your ability to adapt are going to be key. And then, let's take that one step further. And it's not just your resilience. It's going to be resilience of those that you engage with, that you work with, that you work for, that you bring on and that work for you. Being able to, monitor their resilience and their morale will certainly have a huge impact on your business. And that kind of leads right into the next thought, which is leadership, right? Because the people in leadership positions, these are the ones that all those folks are going to turn to when they need support, when they need advice, when they need direction. And as a person in a leadership role, you're going to have to be able to make the tough decisions when others won't or can't. I think every high-performing team I've ever seen in my entire lifetime, in and out of the military, has always had someone that has taken on that empowering, motivating, directive-taking, courageous, communicative leader position, right? There is someone at that helm. And every team in a military environment has someone that's picked as that. Whether they should be that person or not, that's remains to be seen. But there is a person assigned that leadership role, and that's the person you need to identify with and go to. And it's that chain of command. Whether you like it or not, that chain of command is there for a reason, for your safety, for the safety of your team. So be sure as you grow a team that you have folks that are identified as the leaders for specific roles, for specific actions, and for specific endeavors. Just because a person is in charge of marketing doesn't necessarily mean this new marketing project that they're in charge of that. There could be someone on their team that's identified as the leader of that particular project. Does that make sense? Okay. And I think one that almost goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway, is discipline. Again, I think the lack of discipline is at the risk of putting oneself or everyone on the team at risk. And I think at the same time, if you think about it, there are a number of entrepreneurs that are out there that don't have the discipline that is needed, and they're potentially putting their clients at risk as well. See, discipline means being professional always, even in those stressful, even frustrating situations, maintaining the integrity in everything you do and not cutting corners, carrying out all the right health regulations, legal regulations, financial procedures, whatever procedures that are set up within your business, right? Staying compliant with the local laws, right? Avoiding complications with the authorities, yada, yada, yada. That's a big picture. Now let's take it inside and say, here we have SOPs that we do inside of our four walls, maintaining the discipline of staying with those SOPs, not like, I don't understand why this step is in here. I'm not going to do this. No. If you don't believe in the step, then you go to that leader and say, either help me understand the steps so I can comply, or I think I have a better way. There's nothing wrong with that. Come at them with a better way. I haven't met an entrepreneur yet that would not do something a better way. But staying committed to an objective and refusing to lower your standards, right, is a great way to build a business that has a credible reputation and maintains that credible reputation with all of your clients and those prospects that aren't your clients yet. And I think the last thing I'm going to leave you with on quick, because I'm going to go into it quite a bit more on Friday's episode, is routine, right? In the military, there's a routine all the time, right? You get up in the morning, you poop, shower, and shave. Maybe you do PT. Well, you do PT. You go on a jog. You have your breakfast in the mess hall, and you go to your job, whatever your job may be. You do your job. There's an assigned time for having your lunch and whatever breaks may be involved. There's an assigned time when maybe you're doing what's called a CQ duty. You're guarding a building, right? There's always these things you're assigned to do. It's part of your routine. And that routine builds a certain level of confidence because you know what the boundaries are. I go from here to here. I do this and I do that, right? And on this day, I'm free. I get to go do whatever I want. My boundaries are dropped. You know the rules, you know the limits, and it's all in this nice little container. But this routine certainly helps build the confidence that you can rely on. And then you get to expand yourself and your routine as you grow. But again, we're going to go into that a bit more on Friday. All right, my Dark Horse friends and family. Tomorrow, we're going to chat a bit about some systems or routines that you can put into place for success. All right, we all want success. Now, I know you want to keep getting all these daily success tips. So as I mentioned earlier, go on down there, hit that subscribe button while you're there. Yeah, go ahead. That's it right there. 5 stars. Drop them in there. Put some kind words in the reviews. Once again, these subscribes, ratings, reviews. Tell those podcast platforms to lift us up a little bit in the rankings so that we can reach more driven entrepreneurs just like you. So please take a moment, show the love, and help spread the word. Then, Tracy, you're not supposed to do 2 calls to actions. Oh, well, whatever. It's my show. Come on over and join us in the Facebook group. Go to facebook.com, and in that search bar there, type Dark Horse Tribe in the search bar, and you should see us right there on the top. If for some reason you can't find us that way, you can go to go to your favorite web browser. Type darkhorseschooling.com /Dark Horse Tribe, all one word. Heck, let's make this even simpler. Right down there in the show notes, you should see the link. Just go ahead and click it. That'll take you straight there. I look forward to meeting you in the group. All right, you get out there. You run your race. You get your results. And guess what? Come on into the Facebook group and tell me about them. I want to celebrate them with you. Until tomorrow, think successfully and take action.
Thank you for listening to the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
You know this!
Thanks for tuning in.
Check us out at www.darkhorseschooling.com.
All right.
My name is Tracy Brinkman.